feel like it's going up a couple of notches here with the world #1, the new world #1, facing this man, Germany's Ruvén Filus.
1 love.
Brian McCree and Fraser Riley here with you at the Halle Tivoli here. WTT star contender Ljubljana, presented by I Feel Slovenia. Nice opening there from the German, showing what he can do.
Beautiful start. First point, a nice backspinny serve, and look at that fade. Poetry in motion from Filus. Very, very good indeed. This German wall, brick by brick. Trying to get the best win of his career here.
Four love.
Yeah, some fortune there for Filus. What a start this is against the new world #1. First 4 points all in the bank.
Interestingly, WANG Chuqin was training with Wang Yang of Slovakia before this match.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. I mean, you know, we're both down around the training hall. You know, just how you prepare to play to take on Filus, because you said it already. I mean, this is not smooth rubbers, both sides, close to the table.
1-5.
It's just break it down for us. Going to the first towel break here, Fraser, for those not so familiar with it. Just why Filus is so tricky to play against.
So he just varies it so much. You've got to have your eye on the ball, and of course it can be very exhausting having to lift all that backspin. So you want to try and get it done as quick as you can, but at the same time you've got to be patient and select the right shot to hit. WANG Chuqin, with that straight arm, massive forehand, can treat backspin like it's nothing at times. Look at that transfer of weight from the left leg through to the right. Stomping, just exaggerating that movement.
5-3.
Wang Yang of Slovakia, who WANG Chuqin was training with, top 16 player in Europe, defensive player. Just trying to replicate what he's going to be up against here.
Difficult, though, I'd suggest, Fraser, because Filus just developing on, great way of explaining that, but he's not a typical defender either.
No.
I mean, if you look at him, because he can transition. You're going to see this as it goes on. He's more of a hybrid.
100%. He's got so many strings to his bow. I mean, just ask Carlsen, Tokic, Jorgic, Zhang Wujin, Lin Winru, Ugo, Aramoto. They've all lost to Filus.
Oh, and there he does it. There he's on the attack. That's what he can bring. It's not just pure defense. It's attacking abandon as well.
Exactly the start he would be hoping for here. Brilliant. The inspiring German.
8-4.
It's been a game of serves as well, in a sense. There's the coach in the corner for WANG Chuqin, Zhao Zhan, who was Zhang Jike's personal coach.
Yeah, big part of the Chinese national team. Worked with Wang Manyu as well. He's been working with her. World champion, part of the team at the moment, of course, on women's side. Lead of 4 here out of that second towel break. Once an extra moment, there's a bit of moisture around. It's getting very full in here as well. And of course, when you get a full arena, there's more moisture around as well. More humid. You need to keep that playing surface absolutely bone dry.
100%. It can just be so hard to play in a wet hall.
There is Zhu Xiaoyong there. Big part of the German national team over many years, the coaching side.
It's one that he would have liked to have made there, Filus. However, it was a nice, deep, arcing receive from WANG Chuqin. Escapes there. Wang overcooked it.
It's not the first time we've seen in this opening game where he's able to tease the world #1 into error.
Can't rely on this, though. Wang is going to become more accustomed to this style. You can see, though, slightly flustered.
6-9.
The only chopper remaining here in the men's draw, Filus. And in fact, looking at it, the only German remaining.
Nine,
A little bit awkward
7.
there to loop that. Filus knows it's still a lead of 2, though. He's back with the service here, the German. Nicely done.
10,
Real conviction,
7.
clarity.
He pushed there with the inverted side to generate more backspin initially than what he could have done with the long pips. Genius.
3 game points.
Eight,
More than level to
10.
that. To the third towel break. Still 2 more game points against him. Be back with the service.
Nice manoeuvrability there with the backhand block from Wang. But great depth, painting that white line. He'll be glad he's got the serves here.
Yeah. Second game point.
Nine,
More on
10.
that. As you say, it's a dangerous game for Filus. Had a couple of times that Wang is overpressed, but not there.
Would you call a timeout now if you were Filus?
Good question.
Wouldn't be a bad time, would it?
No. Chance is gone now. Third and final game point.
10,
Just put a
10.
little bit more oomph into that WANG Chuqin. Came up the back of it. 2 game points saved.
3 even.
3 was it?
Yeah, first on the Filus serve, and there 2 more. So we go now 10 each. Alternating service, 2 points, the winning margin needed. There he does.
10,
Get another
11.
error, forehand side. The drive from Wang misses its mark.
Wang feels obliged to crack that one, but it wasn't so deep on the table. Not the easiest to come over the top of. I mean, Wang does it the best, but I mean, still.
Very difficult shot. 4th game point. And that misses out, and it's first blood here to the German.
1, love.
Good serve there from WANG Chuqin. Identical service motion, different service execution. And at the pro level, even a short serve can come at you so quickly.
Not by much.
Love. 2.
The master of his craft, Filus. He's so aware of what's on either side of the racket. It's almost instinct at this point. Doesn't really have to think about twiddling, just does it.
1, 2.
So backspin ace just hacked like a lumberjack saw.
Just again on the twiddling there, very, very big point, I think, to emphasise with Filus, because, you know, we're used to, as you say, choppers where
3, 1.
talking about, you know, look here at the service success here. Filus is controlling that at the moment. 3/4 of the points won on serve. Of course, the key shot in the match, in the sport rather.
4, 1.
And just in terms of the twiddling, when he's backing away from the table, break that down for us, Fraser. What makes him a bit different from a typical chopper when you talk about twiddling?
Well, he won't usually twiddle away from the table unless he wants to try some kind of punch shot, which I've barely ever seen him do. But closer to the
1, 5.
table, if he's coming into a kind of more shallow ball, or if he just wants to mix things up by, for example, spinning a long push, he'll twiddle. So instead of using the long pips, which you can't generate as much topspin with, he'll use the inverted side of the rubber, which he usually uses for the forehand. Up it goes.
Oh, the dropper, and he's got it wrong one. You can tell here, Filus is giving him a lot to think about here. This is not the usual clinical composure here right now from WANG Chuqin, from the world number 1.
May I just rewind the clock back to 2019? I'll tell you about it in a sec. But yeah, as I was saying, 2019 China National Championship final. Hao Yingchao, who in his 40s won it in the final, beating WANG Chuqin in straight games. He's a chopper.
6-3.
Hao Yingchao doesn't represent China anymore. Did for a brief period, but spent more time, really, from what I know, playing the leagues around Europe. Well, Wang, it's going to be miffed that he's missed a few of these sitters. But this is a much better game from him here. There's the twiddle that he tried, guys. But what Wang's done better this game is playing it into the middle of Filus and going into the forehand.
No, again, second time in the game. This time he only finds the net.
I mean, this goes to show how difficult the drop shot is. A lot of you people at home might be thinking, why doesn't they drop shot more? Well, if the world #1's struggling, anyone can. There's the twiddle.
Oh, 2 in this game on that shot, Wang. Still a lead of 4.
Oh. 9-4.
The action says it all. A very ambitious receive there from Filus, it's fair to say. Puts Wang 2 points from this game.
I mean, it did know exactly where the serve was going at that time, though. Tried to create a really acute angle.
This is part of what makes him so good, isn't it?
5-10.
Off the top of the blade. There's still 5 more game points to come for Wang.
Nice improvised shot there from Filus. Took it quite late, still made it, and there
11-5, then to Wang.
Lock level. 1 each here then on this high-profile encounter.
1
The man who's just risen to the top of the world rankings, WANG Chuqin, hitting back here against Ruven Filus, the hybrid defender, all his box of tricks. Yeah, the German.
Look at that. 2 serves in a row. The WANG Chuqin has just dumped into the bottom of the net. Filus is a brilliant server, and the advantage of serving with the backhand is you square to the table, so you can see exactly where your opponent might be wanting to move, and you can change your mind as to where you want to put the serve.
1, 2.
Not a receive made on so far in this third game.
In that point, away from the table.
Just got stuck there with that second forehand, Wang. Tried to finish the racket so high above his head. This could be one of the biggest upsets of the year, but let's not get carried away.
Awfully long way to go.
3-2.
He's giving himself a chance here, Filus, at the very least. Seen WANG Chuqin in his rise up the rankings absolutely crush all manner of opponents, not give them a look in.
3-2.
It's not the case here tonight. Knows he's in a match here. It's amazing that as well, because that's what you often go on about, you know, the service variations of Filus, right? That's a clumsy, it's just a little junk serve, little float serve there, but it does the trick.
It's the thing, as long as it's low, tight, did the job there. There's almost kind of local league aspects.
Well, it's his compatriot Dmitry Ovcharov he's drawing on there, isn't he, with the backhand float.
He uses it only occasionally, but Filus predominantly does serve with the backhand, and because he wants to chop, right, initially, most of the time anyway, so the backhand's a safer serve for him. Rare to see an attacker who serves predominantly backhand.
5.
Comes up the back of that one a little bit too much. just not identifying the spin correctly there, WANG Chuqin. Only misses by a really, really fine margin, but that can make all the difference.
5-4.
Usually between an attacker and defender, you see so many long rallies, but WANG Chuqin's shots are so hard, not possible.
How many balls he's had to play there, though, to win one, but he does so.
Commentator's curse there, because we saw a pretty long rally. But Filus has to be chopping and lobbing and fishing, countering. It's absolute best to even stay in there with Wang. It was always going to be more of an uphill battle for Filus.
Yeah, Coach Ju there will know that. We've planned this in super detail. Try and work out a way to beat the world #1.
6-5.
Wang now leads in this all-important third game. Look at the load.
Oh,
Time out.
just hits to the line from there.
Time out, Filus.
He's got to continue to bring his best level here.
Replicate this level of defense in training.
Unbelievable gap.
So much topspin to deal with, wasn't there?
7.
See, Filus is trying to caress it with the block. Fizzing.
Finds the angle there. It's a good question to ask you, Fraser. You posed it. I'm trying to answer it here. You focus so much when an attacker plays a chopper, or in this case, a hybrid player. The natural question is, okay, how do you prepare for that? Because there aren't as many of them. But on the other side of things, how does Ruven Filus, he talked about that in the timeout, how do you prepare for playing the world #1? This brand of attack.
9,
I guess multi-ball
6.
at different distances away from the table just to get accustomed to chopping, blocking, countering, especially on the forehand side.
6 of the last 8 for Wang as he looks to hit the front here in this one.
7-9.
And so well disguised as well.
Just don't know he's coming until he does it. Look at this. That is ridiculous. He played him on from the forehand side.
That time.
Wang is more accustomed to these kind of balls. Obviously, defenders, more few and far between in the game than attackers.
11-7.
Here is the third game, the way of the world #1. To come through what has been so far a very tricky test. Ruven Filus.
1 love.
Nice tactics there from WANG Chuqin into the middle and then into the wide backhand. Of course, as a defender, really hard to chop out the middle because your body's in the way. Similar to playing an attacker, hit it into the middle. It suffocates their attack, their shot.
Love 2.
It's actually how you felt. We talked about this. Well, we were as fascinated by this match as everyone going into it. We're suggesting, you know, how Wang might play this, Filus, and you did think that going through the middle, seeing it more and more,
there we go again.
you know, would be the way to go.
3.
We are seeing that more and more as the match wears on, as he settles more and more, maybe. You know, losing the first game, that's hardly ideal for anyone.
No. He used it to add fuel to his fire, WANG Chuqin. Credit to him. Responded brilliantly. Wow, it was a great punch from Wang, but Filus comes in with another mind-boggling stroke. Twiddle time. Trademark Filus.
Four, one.
Surprised to not see the Filus timeout yet, Guy.
He used it, of course. Used it in the previous.
So he did. I'm 2 into the match.
That's totally understandable. I think everyone continues to be very compelling stuff here, even though it looks like maybe the world #1 now. First time is, despite that error, it's got the lead here in game 4, 2-1 up. Very demanding this for him, this challenge. Come in, of course, with all the, if you like, the surrounds, you rise to the top of the rankings, and then to have Filus as your first match. It's not ideal.
2-5.
Not at all. Potential banana skin, of course, but he who can adapt the best is the best. Survival of the fittest out here.
Of the table there, changed the contact, the bounce onto Filus here. See it again, and these smashes are demanding. It's where you put all the training work in, the gym time. It's for those moments.
Yeah, got to get on one leg, rising to get over the top of that ball.
Sweet.
So much quality on these chops. And then the bouncy ones can bait you in sometimes, but they're still coated so much in backspin, you still have to come up the back of it. You can't come over the top of that ball. It's butchered.
4-6.
He's made bigger comebacks, Ruven Filus. You're wondering...
Timeout.
Chipping away WANG Chuqin.
Let 4-7.
We're back up to 4 here at the second towel break of the game. Tonight is that drop shot. He made it that time, but still ended up losing the point.
Wasn't an ideal drop shot. It was a nice backhand into the middle, but then Filus just using all that topspin against WANG Chuqin in the end. I'm surprised his shoulder isn't coming out of the socket with all these smashes, and maybe that's why he's wanting to do the drop shot, to save a bit of energy.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, that was a bit brash.
5-9.
Yeah, I think he's going to need, should he come through this, Wang, he's going to need a good massage down on that shoulder area to put in an awful lot of work.
6-9.
Slaps himself there, WANG Chuqin. Tried to do more of a seatbelt shot kind of stroke. The forehand across the body diagonally to add a bit of side spin. He was trying to get Filus out wide to the forehand. Wang has done brilliant here at Bringing Filus out. Should I say bringing him in and then taking him out like that.
Four match points for Wang.
11-6.
It's all over. It's a
3-1.
successful first match. And that's the new world #1.